How are you? Cheers. Iced water.
Iced water, darling.
Oh, I think we need it today. It's really warm.
Sensible.
It is only water I'd just like to put out there.
Yes, for you.
But we have done our challenge.
We have just literally done our challenge, so they're still a bit wet.
They are, so we have to be a bit careful.
We last week our topic was drinking.
It was.
And we set ourselves the challenge of decorating a bottle.
We did.
And you had these lovely little bottles.
I had some very cute little
Do you want to
bottles.
show yours first?
So mine is here, and I have decoupaged it. And Daisy and Krusty both love pineapples. They both love sunnies, so you can see it.
It looks really
And
cute.
they can put their vodka in here or whatever.
It's really cute. So I'd like to know a bit more about how you did it, because when you decoupage, do you cover the bottle in glue first and then lay it down, or do you? I don't know.
Well, there are many ways of doing it, and everybody would argue and say there are different ways of doing it.
Experts would have an opinion.
Experts would have an opinion, and I'm sure they'd say you're doing it all wrong. But what I do, if I'm doing, for instance, because I was just doing pineapple, normally I would just cover the entire bottle, but because I had been requested to do, I just did a tiny bit of glue on here, stuck the pineapple on, and then you put the glue over the top of it.
Do you start with the glue in the middle of the piece you're attaching,
Yes.
or the edges?
No, I did the middle.
So you start from the middle and then you brush the glue out?
Yeah, so once the glue is on, that is completely fixed and won't come off. And when it dries, because it's such a beautiful day, we'll put it outside, it'll dry in hours.
You know, my only problem with us having decorated these bottles is they're not going to be dishwasher safe anymore.
No, but that's fine.
I know, but I love the dishwasher.
I know you do. No, it would come off, definitely.
We have a rule in my house. If it can't go in the dishwasher or the tumble dryer, we probably shouldn't have it.
Well, I think that's probably fairly accurate in your house, most definitely. But it's just, I mean, to be fair, it was just us doing fun, and if we never use them, it really doesn't matter. We have simply just completed our challenge, as we said. And actually, decoupaging was actually fun.
You went through a real phase of decoupaging.
I remember decoupaging everything. And you can put more and more layers of the glue on to get it more glossy if you want, but I've just done the one layer.
The thing I never appreciated about decoupaging before is because, you know, in places like Hobbycraft, you can get those cardboard boxes, animals, letters, you name it, and you can also buy the correct tissue paper to decoupage with.
Yeah.
I remember doing a giraffe with you, and we bought the perfect giraffe paper for the fur. But because of the way we cut it out, we basically totally got rid of the giraffe pattern.
Yeah.
And I sort of wish maybe I'd either cut larger pieces, or I'd like to be...
I think decoupage, you can't, unless you are cutting the items down. And again, I don't normally cut. I normally tear.
Yes.
But because I was having to do it a little slightly more precisely than I would normally do it, I would simply rip the tissue paper.
Okay.
Because it would have a much finer edge to it.
But with the pineapple, for example, if you'd ripped the edge, wouldn't you have been likely to have ruined the
pattern?
Yeah.
No, not if you're careful. You'd rip it round. But it's fine. I'm happy with that.
Well, you very kindly also ordered some glass paints for us to have a play with.
I did.
So I used the glass paints rather than decoupaging, and I have made Lulu this little bottle with some little eyes on. I
it's
really
so
like
cute.
it.
I do really, really like it.
And
I'm very lucky.
I just embraced the chaos and tried to think like Lulu. So I've used the colours that she loves to wear and decorate with in life. So purples and blues and greens. And I just did dots all over. I took one colour at a time and I splodged it all over randomly.
And how did you clean your brush?
With water, as you suggested. Dipped it in water, and then you gave us a little bit of towel. So I'd then wipe it to make sure the colour was gone.
Yeah.
And then I'd pick the next colour, and then I'd start splodging that randomly. And
really
I think
pretty.
the white just adds a little highlight to it.
Yeah.
I wonder whether the eyes would have popped more if I hadn't have done the white dots, but it's fine.
I know, I really like it.
What are you going to put in yours?
I'm probably not. I'm probably going to have it in a window or even in the bathroom or something by the window.
That'd be nice because it'll shine through. Actually,
Yes.
that would shine through as well, though,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That will go in our drinks cabinet on one of the glass display sides.
Will it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Krusty's going to love that. That's very, very...
It's very crusty,
It's
isn't
very
it?
crusty.
It is very crusty.
Yes, Chris, you're a lucky man. You've caused inspiration.
Well, it makes you realise, because they were basically napkins.
Yeah.
Because you can buy the decoupage paper,
Yes.
but that is prohibitively expensive.
Yes, this is true.
And napkins are absolutely fine, but if they're a 3-layer napkin, you simply use the top layer. So it's a very, very fine layer.
Okay.
You wouldn't use the 3 layers because it's too thick. So just the top layer.
Noted.
So no, we had fun doing them.
It's nice to do something a bit different.
Yeah, oh definitely. And this took us less than half an hour, I think.
About 15 minutes.
Yeah, it didn't take us very long.
No, it wasn't. It was nice, quick craft.
Yeah.
Very quick craft.
And it would be a nice gift, actually. And I will say, I already have done some decoupaging. I tried it a little, because I got bored one evening, and I made myself a jar covered with strawberries.
Oh,
and I'm going to make some
cute.
strawberry jam and put it in it. Because I thought it would be a really nice gift to make some strawberry jam
that is
and
a
gift
nice
it
idea.
in a jar. So there we go.
Ooh, very good too.
Hello, so,
Lovely.
yeah.
Are you ready for us to
am.
spin a wheel?
I am.
Okay.
It still looks like there's an awful lot on there.
I do keep thinking of new ones.
Do you?
And
Have
then
you added
adding
any?
them. I have.
Oh, okay. I've been totally unaware of that.
That's okay. That's okay. It's because I'm strictly in charge of the wheel.
You are. It's a bit scary, really.
Yes! I'm so
So say I've not got my glasses on.
Craft rooms. Because I already told you.
Oh.
Well, I already know what I want us to do as a challenge, but we can discuss craft rooms first. Oh, I'm so happy this is the topic
I'm going
this
to
week.
hand this over to you to start with.
So, I think first of all we have to disclose that both you and I are very, very lucky because we live in the northeast of England
Yes.
and property prices are a little bit cheaper than back down south. We both have craft rooms.
We do.
Now, I share mine with my very lovely partner, Chris/Krusty, who has got some big boy power tools and a 3D printer, and he actually takes up a lot of room in
He
my
does
craft
actually.
room.
In fact, I think he's actually taken over the craft room.
I'd agree. I would agree, but it's fine. I still have I've got a sewing, I've got my sewing machine, and I've got material, and then I've got my lovely Welsh dresser for all my paper crafts and things like that. So I'm very lucky and have a craft room, and you have your own craft room, except yours
I
is
don't share mine.
almost exclusively for sewing, I would say.
Yeah, it is actually. It's really interesting because you very, very kindly organised it for me when I was away on holiday.
I did it as a surprise.
And I came back and I was going, oh my god, it's so tiny. Because it had been used as a dumping ground.
Yeah.
From the minute we inherited all the wool,
Yeah.
we used to chuck everything in it, and we still had lots of bells on.
Well, it was
all
our
sorts of things.
first. It was our first office.
It was our first,
wildly.
yeah, it was. So it was chaotic, and I hadn't. You, bless you, hadn't. Well, I hadn't sorted it. So you sorted it.
I did.
And made it look absolutely gorgeous.
But the main thing you needed in there was work surface.
Yeah, I did.
Because you had all the storage boxes, you'd already put all your material into clear storage boxes, which I would say is both of our top tips.
Yeah.
Is any form of storage, if it can
Clear.
be see-through, clear, it can be glass, it can be plastic, it can be whatever.
Or, unless you're one of these people who likes colour coordinating, and then you would have red for wool, and then you would have, I don't know, blue for felt. I mean, some
think
people,
even then-
but some people do like colour. I like the clear because I like to be able to see
If
it.
you can't see it, then I think definitely the key is labelling.
And we love a label.
We do love it.
I love a label.
You do love a label.
I do love
So in your craft room already, it wasn't as hard as you think it was.
No, it wasn't. I saw it and I thought, oh.
I just need, there was a lot of stuff in there. I mean, he was taking it out, giving it a clean, but the real key was the storage bench, was the work surface
Yeah.
area.
Yeah,
that
and
you
I've got the
needed.
cutting table bits on there too, which is really, really
Yeah.
cutting mats.
I went to B&Q and I ordered you 2 garage workbenches so that the middle and the base section could be filled with all your boxes, and then on the top you just have 2 long lengths that you can use.
I do, and I really love it, and I do use it.
Yeah.
And actually, when I'm cutting up, because sometimes we order our felt in huge, big meterage,
Yes.
as opposed to in the 12 inch, and
Yes.
then we cut up. I go in there to cut it up.
Well, it's handy.
Yeah. So it's a really nice cutting space.
Well, when you're ironing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And cutting out.
Yeah, no, I do. I use it, and I do use it. And it's every so often when I have a moment of me time, That's my room. That's my room that I go to.
Well, I think what Parky quite likes is that his office is directly below yours, so he always knows when you're upstairs because he can hear the. Oh, what's she making?
Or and because I've sort of run over my finger or something with my soda machine. Do you remember when you did that?
Yes.
You do.
Yes, I do.
No, I do. Yes, and it's organised and it's tidy and lovely.
I actually could probably do with doing a bit of organising of my own craft room. But no, I'm like you. I'm an avid believer in labelling.
Yeah.
So I've got lots of those little drawers, and then they've got labels on, so I know what is where and who is how. And one of the first ever birthday presents that Chris ever bought me was one of those. It's one of those vintage.
Dino tape.
Yeah, the dino tapes, but the old ones. The
Yes. And it's raised, isn't it?
Yes.
So the actual word, if you typed in Daisy, it actually is almost like a braille.
I'm obsessed with it. I absolutely love it.
It is lovely.
I've got all sorts of different tape backgrounds. So I've got like a wood effect and a gold effect. I use them for making cards, and now my whole tea section in my kitchen is covered in labels.
Oh, right.
So if it's Earl Grey tea bags or if it's regular English breakfast, I've got some pots that I love but I never know what's in them. So now one has a hot chocolate label on and one has a lemsip label on.
Oh. So what would our challenge be for our craft rooms?
Oh no, easy. So
Okay.
I when I wrote this down, I already thought of the challenge I wanted us to do.
Oh, go on.
So I think we both need to, and it really is going to be slightly vague, make something in each other's craft rooms.
Oh, okay. Yes, I like that.
So you're going to use my craft room.
Okay. Yeah,
Good
that's
luck.
a really good one. I'm going to end up finding plain bits in there.
Yes.
That's fine.
So you're going to use my craft room, and you can make whatever you want. Now, I've got a lot of papery crafts, so you're welcome to do a card. That might be your easiest bet. But you do what you want. And I'm going to use your craft room to make a craft.
Okay.
And you're going to have we're going to have a time limit on it.
Okay.
You've got
Half an hour.
half an hour. You've got half an hour to find and make something.
Okay.
And you can see. Oh, actually, it'll be quite handy because you can tell me how useful my labels are and if they're correct still.
So actually, it would be quite funny. You video me in your craft room, and you don't answer any questions. So if I can't find something, I will be able to criticise and say, well, actually, it wasn't really very helpful because I couldn't find things.
Quite.
Oh, yes.
Honestly, I pride myself on my Welsh dressers.
Yeah.
So my two stepdaughters both use that Welsh dresser all the time. And because everything's labelled, they know where everything is. So I already think you're going to find mine a little easier. Whereas you are Queen Squirrel.
I am Queen Squirrel. Yeah, you're right. And the problem is I know where things are.
Yes, exactly.
I don't think mine's probably labelled to the
No,
level
it's
of
not.
yours.
I already know it's not.
So I feel possibly, as Parky's away, I might be labelling up this week.
The thing is, I know that this workspace has got glue and scissors and all the rest of it, so
Yes,
it's
you
a
see-
slightly unfair advantage.
Yes, because of course all of my lovely craft stuff has come in here now.
Because that's what I was actually going to say. Your craft room is mainly for sewing.
Yeah.
But that's because we have this whole annex filled with everything else.
A craft annex, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It's got all of our work felting bits, but it's also got all of our papery bits when we do need to make up cards and tags and show signs and
Yeah. Oh.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Challenge.
Steak on it,
Okay.
yes. And crusty, eat your heart out. You're going to have to move on over.
I know. Make room.
I think that's the other thing. If you can have shells, or you can have I've got my magnet on the wall,
Yes.
so I can put my scissors on. I mean, most of my scissors are down here, actually, in fairness.
Oh, I have done the exact same
and
thing.
it's so easy because when I find I am cutting paper,
Yeah.
I write on my scissors
Yes.
paper, or I put best.
Yes.
So best means only fabric or felt.
I just don't touch your ones that say best because I never quite know what they're for and I would hate to ruin them.
No, but I label my scissors, and again, because if two lovely little people came and suddenly said, can we go up and then your craft room and make something, it would be easy.
Yeah.
And now they both read properly, they could even see what is what.
Well, exactly.
Oh, I like
I was
this
just
idea,
thinking about all the
actually.
things I've got in my miscellaneous drawers. You might even have fun with the clay. We've got some air dry clay in.
Have you?
And we've got puffy paints. You ever used puffy paints?
No.
Oh, they're great fun. If you get a stone. No.
Oh.
And I know. But we used to have those as kids.
Yes, I know.
Oh, the pen sticks.
that
you blow through them.
Yeah, and they make splats.
Oh, we used to love those. And if you blow consistently for a while, you can do lines and shapes with them.
You did?
But if it got too wet, it would start to get a bit drippy.
Yeah.
Oh, George and I used to love
did?
those drippy. George, I'm going to call you after this podcast to remind you of the blow pens.
Blow pens.
No, I meant puffy paints. So they're in a little bottle, and you can. People quite often do that, like a mandala style paint on stones, and you do little dots.
Yeah.
I've got one in our living room that Poppy's done. She's done a little heart and then some dots around it, and it looks really cute. I've got puffy paints. I've got
never heard of
fishing
them.
wire.
What do I want fishing wire for?
You might want to make a mobile or something. I've got all sorts of origami paper.
I've got a jewellery bit, so you could make yourself a bracelet in mine.
If I can find it.
Yes, I'm glad to think where it is too.
Yeah, there's all sorts of things. Oh, it'll actually be quite nice because I'll probably see you finding things that I've forgotten I've even got. Because I'm a beggar for, you know, them crafting magazines. They so often give you a little project to do in a packet. I so rarely ever do them, and so then like you could even do one of those. I'll probably have one of those in the drawer.
I've got a box that says projects to be completed.
Yes, I made it for you.
Yes.
And half of it is my clothing.
I'd just like to say, I think most of it is actually yours in there.
What is your favourite storage, either that you've already got or that you've seen in someone else's craft room?
The one I really like, I love the IKEA boards that you have, like the pegboards you have on there for storing things. In fact, I would like to go back to IKEA and get a couple more. Like George has a Pow have in their kitchen with all their kitchen bits on it. Because that for me is really useful because it's a sensible height. You can change the configuration round. So, I mean, I've got a one that has lots of ribbon on.
Yeah. Oh,
so I can pull it off and like a chip, 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 chip. But when I have less ribbon, I can make it smaller and then I've got space to put something else.
Yeah.
So I do really like that.
I always remember, and this was before we moved this one round, your current craft room, but you had those little really useful storage, but the set ones, so it's something like 3x4 or something, 12 little boxes.
I've still got them.
And they're really, really secure, so even if they fall off, they don't spill.
They don't fall out, yeah.
And because you labelled them so beautifully, it was things like you'd have your tailor chalk in one, you'd have tape measures in another, you had safety pins, bobby pins, you name it.
Yeah, I have everything in that.
I know, I thought that was really, really handy.
But now, the actual drawer unit for that, we actually use when we do a workshop because we put all our different colour walls in it.
It's very handy.
Yeah, but I do have all the little things drawer
They
stuff.
are really handy. Because also, I don't know about you, but for me in drawers, if you've got no form of storage inside the drawer, everything just sort of mushes together. So those organisers you can get from anywhere, like The Range, B&M, Bargain, Home Bargains, all that sort of place. The drawer dividers are so handy, so handy, just to really break up. And I have pens in one, rulers
You're
in
very
another,
good because you've also got pots of all different colour pens.
Yeah.
And so you've then got the permanent pens and the non-permanent. And
It's because we have one, little people, and two, so many pens. It got to the point where one pot wouldn't keep my biros in, for example. So I've got black biros in one and then coloured biros in another one. And it's the same with things like felt tips and crayons. And I always make sure that the colour pencils are at the front because that's what little one was using originally. But yeah, now we've upgraded to felt tips.
Oh.
We've even started using my Illustrator felt tips as well.
Have you?
Because you can get a really nice blend on those ones. I'm just thinking about the state of my craft room.
So you're going to have to tidy up before I come.
I don't know whether that's going to be besides the point. There may be part of it is the organic, messy state that you find
because
it in.
realistically, most people don't have it so super tidy when you have multiple people using it. I mean, that's the difference.
I was going to say.
For you, the difference. I mean, for me, I can afford to keep it tidy, even though I don't, because it is just me going in there. But you've got 4 people going in and out that room. And people naturally, because we're not naturally tidy people, don't put things away.
It has become the dumping ground.
Yeah. Well, I think it does.
And it's also, because it's quite a large room, we also call it just our project room. So any of the things we want to do in the house, all those projects get put in there because at some point we will be using Chris's tools or I'll be painting it or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I would like to be better at tidying, and I'm a firm believer when I know that everything has a home, I'm then much better at tidying it up because I know where it needs to go. Whereas if it's just like at the back of my Welsh dress, I've got all my sellotapes.
Yeah.
They go on a little shelf,
Yeah.
and that's perfect. And so all the sellotapes always go back there. But then my just tutty things. I tell you what I don't have is a finished project system. Once I've done the project I wanted to do, especially if it's just like a crafting project with the girls, if it doesn't get displayed, it just gets put back in the room. And maybe what I need is like a display.
But actually,
case.
the top of your dresser, could you put something on the top?
It's got lots. It's got some fun things up there. So for people who don't have a whole craft room, we've spoken about it before, but I do think people that turn those built-in wardrobes or cupboards into a version of a craft room, I think is so clever. Really, really clever. And again, it usually comes down to just being really smart with your storage and with your systems.
But parents often have the drawer units. You know, we have multiple the coloured drawer units, and they will have one of those that has 9 shelves or something, 9 drawers. And again, they can then put the colours, the paints, the paper, because little people tend not to obviously have the vast selection that ourselves have accrued. But again, anything like that, if you can keep it neat and tidy.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched somebody recently on Instagram who has made her daughter's wardrobe into her craft room.
Into her or
into
her
the
daughter's craft room?
Into the daughter's little craft room, and she's only 7. And they've emptied a wardrobe, and they've put a light in there, and they've made a little desk, and they put all those really useful boxes. So they've made a wardrobe into a craft room for the daughter.
That was going to be something I wanted to touch on. That was going to be something I wanted to touch on with the really useful boxes. There is nothing more frustrating than if you just stack and stack and stack and stack your boxes, because so often then the box you want is the one that's right at the bottom. So if you can manage with shelves that fit only 1, maybe 2 maximum, it will make your life so much easier. When we were doing our storage room for the felt, I needed to make sure that we couldn't just stack the boxes on top of each other, because it was such a nightmare taking them all down to get the one you wanted. If they can act more like drawers, almost like secured individual drawers.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely makes a huge difference.
I know these things can get heavy, and I appreciate then that putting in shelving can get expensive. But if you can, I think it's really, really worthwhile.
And I also think the whiteboards are really, really useful.
Oh, pray tell.
Yes, because we've got 3 whiteboards that we have in downstairs in the craft room, and I do think it's really useful that you could. For instance, if you had said to me, Mummy, I've got a dress that I really need for the summer, and I put it in your projects to be done, if I was able to put on my whiteboard, do dress for Daisy, when I walked into that room, I would see that, because that's the other problem, you forget. So I think a whiteboard in a craft room is really useful if you were in the middle of doing something, or something was important, or a date. You know, you're thinking...
Because you don't often go... I mean, unless you're retired or that's your job, you don't often go into the space your craft room every single day. And so if you're saying you only go in on the weekends or like once a week or something, what often happens is you forget what you were halfway through doing. I like to use it as a shopping list as well. Run out of glue, glue dry.
No, it's true. I do think they're a really good idea. I mean, I think the blackboards, because we used to have the blackboards, but actually I think the whiteboards, I think I prefer the whiteboards to the blackboards. I mean, we've got the blackboards here.
Those have just ended up being for fun though. The whole intention of us doing the chalkboard on the front was to help with stock. But they just ended up being for fun. And actually, I love the original drawings we did.
I'm never going to change that.
I know.
I love them. Yes.
No, I totally
I know some of them are a little rude, but they're sweet. So for me, a whiteboard would be good. I mean, George loves chalkboards. I'm not chalkboards. He likes a corkboard.
Yes,
they're another one.
But that's where the pegboards are really fantastic, because I've got a pegboard in my kitchen, and they have a little clip, and I use that to put recipes on.
Okay.
Because you know, so often you get those free magazines from Tesco's, well, quite often, or wherever. I don't always want the full magazine, but I might find a recipe in there. So if I just pull that out and I clip it,
Clip it on.
and you could do the same for your crafting.
Yeah.
If you've got an idea of something you want to do, or a pattern you're wanting to do. How do you store your patterns?
I've got a box for them. I've got a box for patterns.
And you just put all the patterns together, because you've got quite a lot of patterns.
I haven't anymore because I gave a lot away. No, I think that, yeah, I have. I probably only have about 6-7 patterns now, because I ended up subscribing to a magazine that you got a pattern every time you subscribe to this magazine. And I would think 9 times out of 10 I didn't want it or didn't like it. Or, so I don't actually. I now have patterns I genuinely think I've either done or I would like to have a go.
Yeah. Would that be what your challenge is to yourself when you retire, to start working through some of the ones you haven't yet had time to do?
So. I think I would like to actually make some more clothes again.
I would love you to make some more clothes.
No, I think I would like to, because when I have done it, I have been really proud. I'm not as we know, we didn't get onto the sewing bee, sadly.
Well, it was because the applications were closed.
Which is fine, but I also would like to just start doing a little bit more, which would be fun.
Sewing.
So it makes me want to go back into my craft room now, actually.
I know, I'm thinking I probably do need to do like a form of tidying, just so you can actually, get in the door and I don't have to worry about anything falling on you. Might be a good idea. Might be a good idea.
It's better having them in where you can see them rather than under a bed, because sometimes people put things under a bed.
Oh, I'm a devil for that,
and then I completely forgot about them.
If I can't see it, I'm probably not going to touch it again.
No, I couldn't agree more.
Well, darling, I've thoroughly enjoyed talking about craft rooms. I told you I was really excited about this.
It's funny, when I saw craft rooms I thought, so I wanted you to start.
But has it inspired you?
Yes, it has, because I now want to get off and go and do something.
Fantastic.
Right.
Well, I look forward to you, I guess, going in my craft room.
Yeah, you can come in mine and you can have a poke around.
All right then.
All right, I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.